Hi, I'm Steve Bohlert, the founder of Universalist Radha-Krishnaism. In this series, I use Meister Eckhart, A Mystic Warrior for Our Times, by Matthew Fox, as a guide for how we can be mystic warriors. Matthew Fox pairs Meister Eckhart with contemporary representatives of various spiritual traditions to show how they complement one another. He begins with Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who wrote many books, and he called his work depth theology, meaning a theology that digs beneath the dogmas and traditional formulations of the Judeo-Christian traditions, which so often has served as a substitute for the root experiences of biblical faith. Balancing spirituality with theology, he tells of the polarity we all feel between the joy of living and the pain of living. Heschel joined the civil rights movement and marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at Selma and elsewhere. He was not content to theologize about the profits from the comfort of academic protection, but joined the struggle for justice in the streets. And he endured much abuse, even from his own Jewish circles, for showing such leadership. Heschel insisted on renewing religion by putting experience first. As Jewish scholar Fritz Rothschild explains, Heschel has propounded a truly revolutionary doctrine, challenging the whole venerable tradition of Jewish and Christian metaphysical theology. Heschel calls us not to take for granted the beauty of our cosmos, the miracle of our existence. We are carried to an encounter with transcendence and meaning, an awareness that the world in its grandeur is full of spiritual radiance. Similarly, I reformulated Gaudiya Vaishnav teachings for contemporary Western practitioners. I did away with dualistic thought that alienates devotees from the world, which is a goddess-given gift. We're called to enjoy life, learn from it, and work to make the world a better place for all. Yet we are to love Radha-Krishna selflessly, not for what we gain from them. As Eckhart advises us, this is exactly the way it is with people who are in God's love and who do not seek their own interest, either in God or in themselves or in things of any kind. They must love God alone for His goodness and for the goodness of His nature and all things He has in Himself. This is the right kind of love. Do not aim at reward or blessedness, neither this nor that, for such works are truly fully dead. Selfless devotion is our goal. Heschel writes, "The obsession with power has completely transformed the life of man and dangerously stunted his concern for beauty and grandeur. We have achieved plenty but lost quality. We have easy access to pleasure. We forget the meaning of joy." But what is more serious is the fact that men's worship of power has resurrected the demon of power. When man looks only at that which is useful, he eventually becomes useless to himself. We see the flagrant misuse of power by the United States in its dealings with its own people and the nations of the world, while the transnational corporations profit by war and other unscrupulous means at the expense of the environment and the well-being of people and other creatures. As lovers of Goddess, we're called to stand up to injustice everywhere and manifest the realm of Goddess on earth as it is in the spiritual world. Fox says we begin the spiritual life with tasting, which is where wisdom begins also. When we taste the incredible sweetness of Radha-Krishna's love, we become eternally attracted to their selfless service in the simple pastoral environment of Braj. Their pastimes are unpretentious and human-like in a beautiful natural setting. Knowledge alone does not suffice, and inherited knowledge, yes, dogmas, can be especially dangerous. Heschel warns us it is impossible to be at ease and to repose on ideas that have turned into habits, on canned theories in which our own or other people's insights are preserved. We must have our own fresh spiritual experiences and base our living faith on them, not on some old cliches. Therefore, I updated the teachings of Radha-Krishna devotion and asked that others take up my teachings and update them according to their own realizations. Wisdom is not static, but dynamic and evolving. For both Heschel and Eckhart, creation is continually happening. Goddess creates in the eternal now, which is all there is, and calls us to be co-creators. Heschel writes, there is a present moment because God is present. Every instant is an act of creation. Eckhart says, there is no standing still for us in any path in this life, and there never has been for any person, no matter how advanced one may be. We never reach a place where we can say we're perfect. Our learning and growth are finished. We're always in process and need to recreate ourselves and our world as we grow. Heschel says God is the source of goodness, challenging us to share in the divine redemptive task of overcoming evil with good, falsehood with truth, hatred with love. We're called to the prophetic task of challenging the powers that be with the love of Goddess, justice, and compassion for those who are oppressed. If you like what you heard, please click subscribe so you don't miss upcoming episodes.